Yep, and there we go. Hey everyone, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
How is everyone doing?
Great. I
Oh,
cannot complain. Do y'all feel like it's a heat wave out there today? Cause like I went outside with no coat, nothing. I'm like, it's how many degrees did you say it was?
24, 29.
Well,
Keila, you're not a
it felt
teenager.
like 50. It felt
You're not a teenager, okay?
okay. I survived COVID, and I feel like I could survive anything.
Girl, bye. Lana
Okay.
went out last night without a coat. I'm like, and I didn't wasn't paying attention until she started walking in Target.
Uh-huh.
Where's your coat? She was like, at home. I'm like, have you lost your mind? I look like a crazy mother out here. But anyway, we have Terrence and Kecia Milliner with us today. Thank you so much. You know,
Yay.
you guys are busy and that you could do other things with your time, but you're choosing to spend an hour or so with us. So we really do appreciate it. We
We
do.
truly do.
thank you for having us.
Yeah. So we're just gonna jump right in and then we'll introduce them. We're gonna have them introduce themselves. But first we want to do our icebreaker. Did you tell us how you're doing? Did you say you were okay today?
We're doing
Yeah.
great.
Well,
We're doing great.
Did you have a busy Sunday?
I did. We had an amazing service. We go to Word in Action Christian Center with Apostle Clarence Langston and Pastor Robin Langston. And when I tell you, it's above. It was an amazing service. Like I
Where is
say,
that? Where is it?
oh, that's on. It's right on Meyer between 8 Mile and Outer Drive.
Oh, okay. Okay, on the west side. West side? I know where that is.
Yes. You know exactly where that is.
Throw that in there. Okay, so you know that this is we're doing like Black love or just all things love for the month of February. So that's why we have this beautiful couple on here. And we also want to take time to talk about things in Black history. Now, being Black history goes beyond February, but we're just going to highlight some things today. So, Keela's all nervous. Keisha was trying to be nervous too, but I promise you this is going to be so fun. So, this is guess that person. Guess that person. I'm gonna put some things out there, and when you know who this person is, go ahead and yell this person's name out. This is someone from Black history that we celebrate. Okay, you ready? Okay, this person was an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, political and social activist.
Angela Davis.
No, no, no.
Okay.
She used money to support women in education and women's scholarships.
Madam
Donated
C.J.
money.
Walker.
Who?
Madam C.J. Walker.
Yes. How did you know?
Well, one for the guys. One for the guys.
Y'all won. Yes, Madam C.J. Walker. She started her hair care line way back in the late 18s, early 19s, because she had a hair issue. So she started her line, and then she ended up employing more than 3,000 people, mostly women, and that made her like one of the first first millionaires, period.
Mm-hmm.
She's in the Guinness Book of World Records for that. She was just known, period, for just being one of the first millionaires. And we appreciate her because where would we be without that hot comb? Hello.
Exactly. You know, if you would have said it, how come I would have got it? But I wasn't trying to upstage our guest. So I'm glad.
Come on, Dion.
I was saving that to the end, the hot comb, because had I said that, then
Yeah.
I think we would have gotten it for sure. But I just had flashbacks to my mother and that hot comb. She used to tell me,
Oh, wait.
and burn the tips of my fingers. Oh, baby, I'm sorry. Like, ooh, I'm natural now, so I don't deal with no hot comb.
Child, well, y'all got thick hair. My hair wasn't that thick, so my own scalp was getting burnt, and they wasn't even that close to it. So just imagine that.
You got the burn on the ear.
Oh, Lord. Then they want to put Vaseline back there.
No,
Right. But we were cute, though. You know, we were cute.
Girl, yeah.
Beauty hurts.
That's sizzling grease too. Whew, goodness.
Oh, that was our only challenge, so we free and clear?
Yes, you did it.
Oh, girl, I was still stressed. I was
Right.
like, we got to try to beat Terrence with this next point. That's what I was thinking.
No, it wasn't a race or competition. It was just for fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Look, he should like that. My boo did that.
That's
I'm
my
like,
boo. Diddy, did that. Gone Diddy.
Okay. So we are going to have some fun today talking about Black love and just the power of love. And before we do that, where are we going today?
we're gonna go all the way there. Now we did not prompt our guests like we normally do before,
Forgot
but
we.
that's normally what we say together. So
Oh,
ask us again, Tanya.
okay. Okay. Where are we going today, folks?
All
We're
the way there.
All the way there.
All the way
All the
there.
way there.
Where are we going today? All the way there. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm excited because I've seen on TikTok the couples and the people that play like who's most likely to do this and that. I have about 15 questions for you guys, so that's gonna be later. But I just wanted to just make sure that if you're tuned in, you want to tune in just to see that because that's always a fun game to play. So we hashtagging Black Love, and we have Terrence and Kecia Milliner today. And let's just start with the basics. Can we have you guys introduce each other, please, for the world, for the podcast world?
Okay.
Whoever wants to go first.
I will introduce my friend, my best friend, my love.
Aw.
She didn't want me to say this, but my lust,
Aw. Hey.
the love of my life, you know, my beginner, my future,
Oh,
Aw.
my keep it going,
that's so sweet.
Miss.
I'm not gonna cry.
I know.
That's cute.
That is so sweet.
And I'll introduce to you my boo thing. Yes, he's my boo thing. He still makes me blush. And
Aw.
character, his integrity. He's my. I think I'm gonna keep going. He's my nice. He's my better half for sure. And he's the nice one in the relationship. And it's Terrence Milliner.
Between the two,
Oh
yeah, he probably the more level-headed.
Oh for
No,
sure.
I'm just kidding. Well, Keisha pop off though. That's what I mean. I don't want nobody to get in the wrong ideas. I'm just saying she got church in her, but she got a little hood too. That's
Okay.
all.
I mean, she done threw up the sign a few times.
Right. I grew up a school crab, y'all.
Oh wait, I almost got up and started doing the school crap.
I know, right?
Let's tell our age. Let's tell our age. So, how long have you guys been married?
We have been married 27 years.
27. So you got married when you were like 10 and 11?
I was about 8, and yeah. No, we got married 3 days after my 21st birthday.
That's what's up.
Good.
They look young. They look
I mean,
young.
seriously, 27 years. So you guys are like eating fruits and berries and just. I mean, I just see glowy skin. I don't see any wrinkles. They do say that black don't crack, but you guys really.
No, seriously. Everybody, if you really want the Chinese ancient secrets of why they still look so young, you got to watch to the end. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'll save that to the end.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, we will say that to the end. And how many children do you guys have?
Oh, 6.
Oh, we have 5. Okay.
We have 6 children, 6 godchildren, 5 grandchildren. Yeah.
Wow.
We have a very large family.
That's what's up.
Now, are both of you from a large family?
Um,
I would say yes. So let me go back. My grandfather was one of 10. He had 10. 2 of his brothers had 10. My mother, she's, for her it was 2 girls, 2 boys. So, I'm used to being around a lot of family.
And my parents had 2 girls, 2 boys as well.
Wow. And what do you guys have?
Well, naturally, I have 3 boys and 3 girls.
Okay.
Oh,
But
the Brady Bunch, literally.
Yeah,
but you know my our guard children are just like ours.
Mm-hmm.
They come over. They're here. They get the whoop whoop just like the natural ones. You know, ain't no difference.
Right.
That's what's up.
That's beautiful. And 5 grandkids.
Yes.
So Christmas be like, whoa.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just on a regular day. Just
I can just imagine.
Yeah, they're all adults now, but that was more so like when they were growing up. I mean, we definitely had the Kool-Aid house, the Brady Bunch house. Yeah, this was the hangout spot. Yeah,
That's what's up, though.
We wake up and we have extra children in the house.
I like that.
We went to sleep.
Right.
Tanya, can you relate to that with 5 kids?
I can. So yeah, mine are still here. So 20, 18, 18, 17, and 16. And I prefer for their friends to be here, although they have good friends and good parents that their friends belong to. So yeah, but I like them to be here. I like a lot of noise, even though it may not seem like it. Even though like right now, I don't want to hear it, But
well, I stopped at 1 because Tanya and Kecia had enough. So I didn't need to do nothing. I didn't need to do nothing else. I contributed.
you did.
Only you're one little child.
She is just fine. I'm like, you got cousins, it's squirrels out there.
It's called selfishness.
I mean, it might be, but I'll take that.
One is good design. God's design for your family is perfect.
Yes,
But it's not too late
indeed.
to have another Keela.
Girl, wait,
Oh,
are you serious?
yeah.
We're gonna talk about that off the camera because
I'm not gonna
Child.
lie.
Well, there's
No.
nothing wrong with having one because you can devote all of your love and attention to that one child.
yes,
You just
I
have to
agree.
put all the love and attention to one. See, we have to spread our love out.
Yes. But with children, I'm sure Tanya can relate. Both of y'all can relate. Each child requires something different.
Absolutely.
You only got the one child. So if you make her mad in your old age, you know where you're going.
Oh, we talk about this all the time. Let me tell y'all how I have to brainwash her all the time. Every time she get my mic, don't put me in no nursing home. I'm not putting you. That is actually our inside joke, for real.
Yeah, we have that too with our youngest daughter. I'm putting y'all in a nursing home. He sold me on social media a few times. I found out she had me for sale on social media. To my girl.
It's the youngest ones that do it to you.
Yeah, it's his baby girl. That's what it was. It's his baby girl.
My goodness, I know our youngest just say whatever she's thinking. I'm like,
You notice she said sell a mama. Anybody want a mama? She didn't say nothing about getting rid of daddy.
No.
Right.
You guys must be a whole lot alike. You and your youngest daughter, Kecia, you guys are a lot alike.
Probably, yeah. That's she. She's definitely I would say she's my feisty side times 10. I would say that.
Yeah, it's the youngest. I tell you, it's the youngest.
But Tanya, your youngest, she act like you though. But okay, let's keep going.
I know. That's what I was just saying. This thing, Lana does act like me, and that's probably why she gets in the most trouble because I see me and her. I'm like, I gotta break her up out of that. Yeah. But anyway, so tell us about your life goals. So do you see yourselves as being a power couple?
Definitely.
I probably wouldn't. Well, I guess I just think we are. I mean, I don't see us as a. I don't see us as a. I wouldn't. I don't like to toot my own horn. I'll put it like that. So I would not say for my own self, like, yeah, we're a power couple. We doing this, but I definitely see us as being a good couple.
A good couple.
They're being modest, Tanya. They're being very
Like,
modest.
hey, I don't want to toot my own horn. I'm like, who you
They,
think
I
you
would,
are?
so from the outside looking in, I would view them as a power couple. They got a lot of stuff going on. She multiple things that she got her hands in, literally. And I'm not even over exaggerating. I mean, she wear many caps. Her and her husband both, they are always working together on stuff. They do yeah, I would consider them a power couple. So I'll answer that for them. Since
Okay.
they team.
And
I
Quada
give you $5 later.
is her name, am I saying it right? Cuda Lynn? Cuda? Quada? Help me out. She's over in the chat.
Okay.
I'm probably messing her name up so bad. But if you click over to where it says comments
Mm-hmm.
and come on down, her middle name is Lynn. She
Keita.
said that you're one of her favorite couples.
Keita.
Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. That's Keita. I love her.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, Keita. I didn't mess up your name. I didn't call you Cuda,
You
Keita.
keep it real. So if she said it, it's the truth. Because
It's the truth.
That's what
Okay, so Keita, can you list some of the reasons why they're your favorite couples? Because they're not tooting their own horn. So just go ahead and list, and we want to come back to what you're saying, but I want to keep asking them. So do you do things out in the community? Or like, what is your occupations in life that make you a good couple? Because you won't say power, but I'm seeing power.
Well, so I do HR. That's like my job is a human resource for a company. I call us emergency managers for Head Start programs. So it's government contractor. And
I'm in HVAC, heating and air conditioning. So, residential, commercial, industrial.
And he does. So we're very active in our church, And I just really truly believe that, God gives you gifts and talents, not just for you. He gives you gifts and talents so you can lay those gifts and talents at the feet of the apostle.
That's
so
right.
we definitely believe in laying our gifts at the feet of the apostle, and I'll serve my first lady. I serve in the ministry and administration. Whatever we can put our hands to do. I remember even when we first came to the church with our church, we had all of our kids going to help clean up the church. Like we had hey, you go and you serve. So that's one of the things that we do. So we're very passionate about serving God and serving the leaders that God blessed us with.
That's awesome.
That is. And I see you in HR.
Yeah, can't you? Fired. You're fired.
No, I see. I'm very compassionate, unless they make me real mad. Okay, I have a lot of patience, and then I'm like, let's get.
And no, Crystal's asking, is Kecia Keela's sister? No, they're just good friends from back in the day.
Yeah.
And Robin is saying that they are an amazing couple.
Oh,
so Robin, please share why you think
my pastor.
That's your first lady, right? Yeah.
Pastor, hi, Pastor. She said that you
I
guys
just saw the last name. I'm like, that's your first lady, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm just calling her by her first name. Robin, how are you? Thank you. Pastor Robin, how are you? So do you guys have shared goals? Other than, I know that you probably shared goals as raising your children, but as far as in life or anything else that you want to share with people or other couples?
Well, coming up when we first started, of course, we wanted our children to be well-rounded, so we had them do all kind of activities, football, basketball, baseball, dance, robotics, business camps,
Sunshine Band.
Yep.
Youth choir.
Yep.
Praise dance.
Yep. The band at schools. We wanted them to be, diversified. We wanted them, they went to different schools. The first school they were growing up, it was a mixture of races. We wanted them to be able to communicate, not to be afraid of another race, intimidated. We wanted them to be comfortable growing up. So at one point we thought, well, okay, enough of that. They need to be able to know their own, not to be intimidated by your own culture, because
Right.
we sometimes can be intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, it's time for you guys to get to know your own race, a little bit better. They knew, but they didn't. The majority of they didn't deal with us on a
Right,
daily basis,
right, right.
Yeah.
So you have different classes of people. So in our world, you have to be able to deal with everybody.
That's true.
Yeah, so that was one of our goals, making sure that our children were well rounded, definitely rooted and grounded in God. I mean, so they've always been in church like since day one, and being active, seeing us being active in in a church, being compassionate. That was definitely a goal. And I'm gonna tell you, his goal was he wanted to have children while we were young, and he said they can, they grow up and then we can travel and do us.
Right, right.
So
So
that was his plan.
I was like, okay, since they get 18 to 20 years old, the youngest will be off. We'll be about 50.
Mm-hmm.
We're still young. Okay,
I'm younger than 50.
late 40s. We're still young. We can, they'll be off. They'll be grown. We can leave them. We can go travel, do while we're still young. And that's the stage we're at now. We're traveling more. We're trying to you know uh, become that young couple again.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh,
I think that is important though too, because when you have your last on leave and it's just the two of you, like what is that's when the crux, or you really find out what your relationship is really based on. When your kids are like gone and out the house and it's just the two of you, like looking at each other. Like, so now what we gonna do?
right.
That's absolutely true. And I'm gonna tell you, like when we first got married, we were very young. I was 21. He's 3 years older than I am, so he's 24. And so we didn't even have the knowledge that we have now. I mean, I'm looking back like, oh my gosh, like I really, really wish that, like, listen, y'all gonna hear me talk about my pastors a lot. I'm gonna tell you, because they are so instrumental in who we are today. I wish I had the information that they give us, like now they have been giving us, because I've been with them. We've been with them for about almost 15 years, and just the information that we have learned. I wish I had known that when we were first having children. Getting married and having children. We didn't sit down and like, oh, let's do a vision board.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't, like, oh, let's do a vision board. Let's set these goals. Let's talk about this. Like our finances. Let's do all these different things. We were really just, living our life. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
No real goals. We didn't really have. I'm telling you, it was literally the grace of God that we're even still together. Because I think probably like our first like 5 to 10 years, I was like almost every other week, I was like, I'm divorcing you
every day.
Like
every day or every week. Which one?
Look. One day I told her, okay. Okay. What you waiting on?
You like, because I'm tired of you saying this, right?
Pretty much.
Don't just talk about it, be about it, Kecia.
Right.
I was like, next.
So then it wasn't even fun anymore to say that, because he was like, okay, well, go ahead and do it. So like, okay, let me not say that again. But we really, and you were talking about when you're having children, we put so much into our kids that we weren't really building up the relationship that we had. I mean, we learned all this since we've been at Word in Action, to be honest with you. I'm just keeping it 100. Okay. My daughter say 100, 1,000. Okay.
Right.
Like that, because we did not know, even though my parents were married, had been married, that, to the day my father died. My grandparents were married, my aunts and uncles, and I'm just being real. I could see all these different marriages, and they were together, but I didn't really see it. I didn't see how things were going to be operating in our lives. I'm gonna say it like that. Okay. I learned how to be married so many years later, once we got to somebody tell us step by step, okay, this is your role, this is his role. Okay, so let's, and I'm gonna tell you, I had marriage classes. We went to marriage counseling before we got married. I even took a purity with purpose for married women, and it was like, okay, maybe I was learning or maybe he was learning, but we weren't getting that. We weren't learning together and growing together. So we started growing apart. And
Mhm.
we weren't doing the communicating because most of our attention was on our children.
Mhm.
We learned later then, like since we had started going to the ministry and they was talking about, like Apostle Langston and Pastor Robin, they was talking about date nights. We was like, they have a date day. So we were like,
Mhm.
shoot, what's happening? We gonna get us a date day. And that was so helpful. And that's just having a date day.
It is. It kind of take you away from the world. I mean, I've been married, so I don't want nobody coming on here like she ain't even married. But I've been married. But it do take you away from like because you need that time together. You need that. You need that.
Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah, a lot of times, with parents, everybody's, well, for me, instance, I worked at Chrysler, and I was working 10 to 12 hours, 7 days a week. So getting in a lot of date time, especially I was on second shift, most of the time on second shift. So getting a lot of date time when you're working those many hours, is not going to happen. Spending time with kids on second shift, that's hard to do because they're in school during the day. So when they get home, you're gone, you're at work. So, the little times that I did, was able to spend with them, I did. I got in with, when I could. At some point in time, I coached baseball, basketball, football. I, did robotics with them. I tried to do, I
Nice.
tried to spend every second with them as possible.
You did.
Yeah. We
Uh,
call
And let me say this.
Mhm.
She did not go to any of the outings at the apple orchard, and none of the school trips, none of that. That was all me.
Yeah, he did. I think my last one. I think.
Now let me remind y'all, we have four together.
Yeah.
So those four kids, all their school trips was me.
it was you.
I'm gonna tell you what. I was traumatized when I was pregnant with. I think our third one, maybe. I was pregnant. Oh no, maybe the second. No, it had to be the second or third one. I went on a school trip and I was pregnant. When I tell you, it was traumatizing. I was so tired. I said, "Oh, this is the last time I will be going." And I was pregnant, and we walked around for a long time. I was like, "Oh no!" So I had to be like with the third one. So then it's been him all this ever since.
that's what's up, though.
It is. And we call my husband like the chameleon coach because the only sport that he really played was football. But he's coached softball. He's been a bench coach for hockey. Never been on ice skates before or skates. I mean, track. Well, he runs track, but he helped my son with track. I'm like, and then when my daughter sang, she sings. And he coached her through how to sing the something, Star Spangled Banner. I'm like, how you come a singing coach?
Well,
coach too.
Kirk Franklin do it. I mean, so
It was almost like that, and she was listening to him now. Daddy, how does this sound now? Like, he don't sing, baby. Where you at?
He had good ears.
But it was just, yeah. So we can relate to that too. But how did you? I mean, so I've heard people say that for as many children as you have, you're supposed to spend like at least 1 hour a day with them. That's almost impossible when you have 6 kids. With giving them each their individual time. Someone said that, Keela, when we were back at our old church, and I can't remember what guest.
they did. I didn't listen to it, but I only had 1 hour, so it don't matter who said it.
I mean, in my
I only
mind,
had 1 hour to invest. No, Shane, I really don't remember that. But if they did tell
because
us
in my
that,
mind, I was stressed out because they say something, you feel like you really have to do it. I'm like, how are we going to do this with 5 kids? But then we learned that it's more so like the quality of the time that you spend with them. So that's what we try to do most often. Now,
We didn't know that. We didn't know that. I'm gonna tell you what my mother did tell me. She did. I remember her talking about. She said, "Listen, I love you all the same, but I can't treat you the same because you're all different." So I did know that. My mother. When I say my mother was amazing, my natural mother is definitely amazing. I was like, man, I would like to be like her. When I say she was so nice, she was so sweet. I was kind of probably more like my dad. My dad is, yeah, my dad. Probably more like my dad. He was a little tougher. And no, no, we tried our best to spend a lot, time with our children.
Mhm.
But looking back, I would definitely do things totally different because now we learn more. So the
Right.
things I
Right.
know now, like I'm like, oh my gosh, like sometimes like when my pastor and I, they be talking, or they are on live, and I'm just like, oh, I wish I knew this 30 years ago. I'm like, my kids
Right.
great. My kids would be amazing if I had this information 30 years ago. And I think like when we got older, like our youngest two, they got the better parent. They did.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely
Mm-hmm.
have the better parents. Like I have apologized. No, we apologized to our oldest two. Like, okay, we didn't know any better. We really
Right.
didn't know.
Right.
We came from a very genuine place, but you can't do any better than what you know.
That's
So
true.
it's so important to have those role models, to have somebody in front of you that you can see where it's working for them, and then model yourself after that. And so you'll think things will go a lot better for you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you gotta do is roll with it when somebody already laid it out for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
that's
true.
why our youngest two, like I think, I mean our oldest two are great too. I love you, Taryn and TJ. They are definitely amazing. But I remember my daughter, our oldest daughter, she told us one day, she said, you know what? She said, since you guys have been going to this church, she said, you're better parents.
Oh.
From her mouth, you're better parents. So
Wow.
And too, you think about it because when I even think about like my parents when they had us, and just even being a younger child and just driving with my dad in the car, when I really think back on that, sometimes I'm like, man, he was like 24 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder,
right.
jump in the car, let's ride. And I mean, obviously you don't think about it when you're a kid, but what you do think about when you get older is no wonder why they was doing some of the stuff they was doing. I mean, what I'm saying? They was still kids.
Right. Exactly. Right. Like
That's,
I
that's
was
true.
21.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I mean, we had a lot of kids at a very young age. Like,
That's true.
yeah, like I was 27 when I had number four.
Right.
So, I mean, and which really made number six because, he had two older ones. So, I mean, I was 20, 24, 27 years old and I had,
Oh, wait. And that's a lot.
it can't be about you. You have to be, selfless when you have such a large family. And I said, I have to, commend him because even at a young age, I mean, he bought, we bought our first house and he was like 24 years old. And then, like, about a year and a half later, he bought our second home. I mean,
Okay.
working, taking care of his family, doing the best he could. And he didn't actually grow up with his father in the home. His father passed when he was younger. So, I mean, so he didn't have that person, in-home example on how to
Right.
be, what to do and how to do it. And he was such a great father, spending that time with his children and coaching and, trying to do all the things that he missed out on, he did for his kids. So,
Yeah. That's awesome.
But and that's one of the things I tell a lot of young guys today. When you're around young children, I say you got to watch what you're doing. Kids are watching
Yeah.
everything you did. I did. I watched every male I was around, whether
Yeah.
it was a good influence or bad influence,
Mm-hmm.
whether they knew I was watching or not. You know, so that's why I tell people a lot. Look, when kids are around, watch what you're doing, watch what you're saying, because they're listening. You may not think they're listening. They may
Mm-hmm.
be 25 feet away, but if those ears can hear you, they're
They listen to everything and will repeat it.
Every everything. Everything.
And will repeat it. They definitely will. You are so right. So what do you made a statement about being around people that are like-minded. Do the majority of your friends are they couples?
I'm gonna say it's really us. We were such a different type of couple. Like we
Okay.
we weren't the couple that's, oh, let's hang out, let's
Mm-hmm.
do this, we partying, we going to clubs, we drinking and smoking. We probably what somebody may call a lame. We're so lame.
or I think we were more mature for our age,
Hmm.
than a lot of people our age were.
Yeah, yeah,
You
I
know,
can
we,
see
you
that.
know, I never really was the type to hang around in crowds. I was mostly a loner. You know, growing up, I was the youngest of my friends, So a lot of things that in middle school, most of my friends were in high school. So when I was in high
Okay.
school, they were in college, and I was
Okay.
doing college things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I was more mature than some of my friends.
Okay. That sounds like Angel, because when Angel had her, she just had her birthday. She like, it's my 19th/21st birthday, because you know how all the people. I graduated early, so all the people are older. I'm really catching up with them. I'm like, girl, you are 19, and that's what you're gonna be. But she
Right.
is mature for her age. She is very mature for her
My
age.
yeah, I do remember, doing things, and I'm gonna tell you, like, especially when I graduated high school because my birthday is kind of late. I thought I was so grown, and I was, I did my little time with club, and I used to lie about my age, and to the point where I forgot how old I was. I was like, I promise you, I wanted to just be extreme with it. I wanted to be extra. I didn't say I was 21. Even though I was 18, I didn't say 21. I said 23. I said, because if you say 21, they might want to check your ID. But
Right.
I say 23. So I'm just gonna go on and say 23. Okay. And then why?
And you don't even look your age now.
I was born in what? Yeah, so that's not good to be lying about your age.
They was just letting you in because you was cute. Because you don't even look your age now.
I look older then. I'm not kidding. I remember being in high school. People was like, "You look older than your mama." Like, I'm not kidding. I was so mad. I was so mad. We were in Home Depot, and we were looking for my mom a floor. She was having her pick. So my brothers and I were gonna get together and buy her a floor. And she looking at it, and I said, I'm in the store. I'm like, Mom, such and such and such. And this guy said, "Did you say Mom?" I said, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh my gosh, your mom looks so young. You look older than your mama. You look older than your mama." I said, "You know what? That's Mom, let's just go. We leaving." I left. So mad. I prayed, and I was like, God, what I'm saying? I want to look young like my mom. I don't want to be out here looking old. I want to look young like her. And I'm telling you, God was faithful.
Yeah, he was.
Wow. You guys look good now. You do.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do. Okay, so are you ready for the game? Unless Keely have more questions.
No, I did want to read. You asked Keita what does she love about them, and she responded.
Oh, go ahead
So
and read it. She wrote a whole paragraph.
You can read
No,
it.
go ahead, Keela. You got it.
Oh, dear God. Okay, Keita. Okay. She says, well, I'll toot it for y'all. Keisha is loving and crazy. She reminds me of myself. She has the caring motherly spirit. She loves and treats my 3 kids as her own, and they're 34, 30, and 28. Terrence is my brother. He picks on me just like a brother. He's a great father. He reminds me of my hubby. They will kill a brick over their families. Just great people who I look up to and love.
I can't shop you, Keita. Later.
Right? Go check in the mail. And then, of course, my mom, when you said you were in HR, she was like, HR, yes, because you know that's what she did for you. Before she became the vice president of the credit union. So,
yeah. Okay. Well, I do a lot of stuff at HR.
I know.
You already know. I
already know.
Yeah, it's
I'm like, I'm not going to even try to ask her because I know she's busy with something. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure before Tanya goes to the game. Now we get to enjoy marriage. Oh, she was saying that's true, that now we get to enjoy marriage with our great hubbies because you guys are older and the kids are grown.
Yes.
So that's what Keita said.
Yeah, we travel now. We get to enjoy. Matter of fact, Keita, I love Keita. She know I had to, I had to like Keita. I had to ask her about some things because it's really scary when you're married younger and you have your whole life is surrounded by your kids, and then they're growing up and they're just moving off, and it's like for me it was like a fear a little bit. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what are we gonna like what am I gonna do? Like, what I'm saying, I put so much into my kids. I wasn't sure about like, okay, are we gonna even like each other? Like what?
Right.
Get to know one another, had to date one another, and become a couple again. And so like now, like when I tell my sister, I'm like, oh, just make sure. I mean, my sister is pregnant with twins. She already has 3, pregnant with twins. And one thing I was like, make sure y'all stay a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you gotta have that time with just being with you two.
Exactly.
On each other, and because your kids are gonna grow up and they're gonna have their own boo things. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have their own spouses, and they're not gonna be thinking about you.
And their own kids. And your own kids you have to remind your mama that this one is mine and not yours.
Right.
You know, because your mamas be trying to still run and regulate stuff. But I got one question. I do have one question before Tanya proceeds. Girl, when Angel was little, she'll tell you, she'll probably pop in these comments because one day she was trying to put me in, check up on my own child. And I was like, well, wait, hold up, because the last time I checked, I was an adult.
Right.
I'm like, Mama, that one is mine. She was like, okay. Don't get smart, but okay, Mom, I'm not going to get smart, but I'm just going to remind you. But listen.
Nicely.
Before Tanya, I had to change my tone because, I had kind of started.
I just want to point out that, I did have her, but, I appreciate all of the advice.
Everything you do. Exactly. But one question that I'm sure other people would probably love to know. You guys been married 27 years. Mm-hmm. All marriages, if you've been married, all marriages are going to have some ups and downs, but no matter how much people try to pretend like they do not, there is no perfect marriage. But one thing I did notice you guys said, you have a blended family. Mm-hmm. So how did you guys work together through that? Because that can be very difficult for a lot of people. And I actually know some couples who have broke up over blended families. Like they like the way he raises kids and I can't say nothing to the kid and, and they kind of, so how did you guys navigate through that? For people who out there that could be struggling with that, what would you suggest to them?
Prayer.
The grace of God. Like seriously, it really is. I'm telling you, and you're right. I mean, we have been. I can't tell you how many times I have advised people. Like, don't do it, don't do it. If you can avoid it, please do. But just in all fairness, we were young, so we didn't even know. We didn't know, and I didn't have that example in my family. So like my parents is just them and their kids. My grandparents is just them. So it was all new to me, and I'm telling you, I didn't really act that good.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I didn't act that good. Some times when Kiki from the Block came out, and they were like, so
So now being where you guys are now and looking back, what would be the one thing you would say to? I know he said prayer. He said prayer definitely.
Yeah,
prayer works for everything. But what else would you guys say?
Well, one, when there's a child, and you're especially if the father and mother don't get along or aren't getting along, or there's some disagreements, you don't know what that child is hearing. You don't know what side that child is hearing. It's probably hearing that wherever the child is, mostly, that's what she's hearing. That's the side they're hearing most of the time.
Okay.
So depending on what they're hearing will determine their attitude when they go to the other parents.
Okay.
So a lot of times you may have to address some issues. And you'll have to address some issues if they're if the child is not being respectful. You try to do your best. A lot of times people are young, they're immature, so they don't know how to address issues the proper way. Sometimes they'll do things or say things that they shouldn't say around the child or even to a child.
Yeah, so I would think my advice would be definitely have the lines of communication need to stay open. And if somebody, depending on what side you're on, so if you are the person with the child and if you're the parent, then it's very important that when you're married, you gotta let the main thing be the main thing. And what I'm saying, it's important that you always have, as a parent, you have to have a united front. Period. You have
that.
Because I'm telling you, kids will conquer, and they will conquer. Okay?
They sure will.
Foolishness is born in the heart of a child. Okay, the rod of correction.
that is very true.
That is
That
so
is very true.
You have to make sure that you are having that united front, keeping that line of communication open. Even if you don't agree, even if you disagree, then you don't do that disagreement in front of the kids, because as soon as they see a little bit of weakness, they know they got you. So you have to do that, privately have that discussion. And then it's important that everybody listens. So if you're not listening, so if one has a gripe and the other person is not actually actively listening, and being dismissive, it's not going to work. It's going to be some problems, and vice versa. So that's my biggest thing: open lines of communication and making sure that you have the united front.
And prayer.
Prayer number 1, 2, 3. The other ones are 4 and 5.
Okay, we'll take that.
That is true. They can sniff that out, and they know how to get in there and get what they want. And they know who to come to too when they want something. Before I start, I do have a question. So in 22? So in 24, we'll be empty nesters. What should we do now in preparation for that? Any advice?
Oh, date. Have that time together, communicate. Matter of fact, it was this guy. We were having a work meeting, and he was starting off with the presentation, and was just talking about he and his wife have been married for many, many years. And he talks about, he said they get up at 4:30 in the morning, and he said they just take their time and they talk at 4:30 in the morning. Look, I'm not up at 4:30.
Have them on no parts of me at 4:30.
So before their day gets so busy, and you're too tired, they actually take that time to talk. That worked for them, but they worked out a situation, worked their marriage out where they can spend that time every day together.
Right.
So that's important. You having that, he has to be your boo. Okay. Got to be your
like that.
Like my husband, he likes my attention. And because I'm so busy, he don't like that I'm so busy, because he wants my attention.
He said he don't like it.
But when he's able to get my attention, he's a totally different person. He's so happy. He just just want me to just touch him.
6:30, 7 o'clock, we can talk, we can get our, our convo on, and I'm good for the rest of the day.
Right.
That's what's up.
Let me ask this
4 o'clock in the morning.
That's but when you do go on dates, do you purposely not talk about the kids?
You know what?
It's hard to do.
It is. We're still learning and growing. This 27 years, but this 27 years of evolving. We're constantly learning and growing. Even today, like my pastors, they're doing the whole love connection series for the month of February. And I'm not kidding. I was in service, and he was working. I text him the message. I'm like, let me text this to him. This is good. We're always learning and growing. And if we ever get to a point where we're not learning and growing, I mean, if you really look at it like a heart monitor, it's going up and down. It's up and down because there's some activity. As soon as it's flat line, it's dead.
Yeah.
So if you're not learning and growing, you just killed the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I would say: learn and grow, communicate. Okay, find out what he likes. He need to know what you like, and
and changes come. Changes come.
And flirt.
Because if they like one thing one year, they may not like that thing next year.
That is true.
And so I can't come in the house with what she liked last year, because she'll look at me like, what is this? I don't like that. What do you mean you liked it last year?
Right.
Yeah, that was last year. Okay, so who's the one? So who's mostly the one? So what you're going to do is I'm going to ask a question, and you're going to point to yourself or point to the other, and let's see. Keila, I need you to keep track. Okay.
Okay.
That's right. Okay. So who's the first one dressed in the morning? Okay. Who is most likely to run late? Who is the disciplinary in the family? I didn't see your hand go up, Terrence.
I guess that depends on if it's the boys or if it's the girls.
Okay.
Oh, so you do the boys and Kecia does the girls? Yeah. That's how it goes? Okay.
I can say that. Yeah.
Who is most likely to spend a lazy Saturday?
Me.
Okay. Who does the most who does most of the talking in a new setting?
Any
All
setting.
settings.
I want to say probably all settings.
Who was the first to declare their love?
Oh.
Don't trip.
I don't remember.
Look, I can't take rejection, okay? Look, you ain't going.
Yeah.
Who's the most romantic?
You didn't point to yourself. If you thought it was you.
I'll ask again.
Terrence gave up his whole hand. We can't even see no movement
I
down there.
know. He just gonna look.
Okay, I'll ask again. Who's the most romantic? Okay.
Okay.
Who's the best driver?
Who has the most tickets?
Oh,
Who's the most skilled?
okay. Who is most likely to binge on a pizza? Who is the most likely to binge a whole TV series? Who is the one that rather wait, I'm sorry. Yep. Who is the one your kids run to when there's an issue? Who's the messiest? Who's the cook in the house? Okay. Who is the straight shooter, no chaser?
We know who that is.
But I don't see.
They might be straight. They might, but
Depends on the subject.
Okay.
Me.
Who would rather have more money over time? Who would rather go on a road trip instead of flying? Okay, that was it. That was fun.
that was fun. So
Give me the RV.
y'all both kind of was. Y'all might be about even.
Yeah, I'd rather have an RV and take that road trip than flying.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Those are relaxing.
That's one of the goals. He wants an RV.
Yes.
Okay, so I need to go back to the discipline. So how do you so Terrence, you said you discipline the boys or would discipline the boys, and Kecia, you would do the girls. So how did you work that out? And by discipline, I don't mean sparing the ride, getting the ride out.
No, I think it wasn't a decision. I think it just naturally happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's softer on the girls, so I'm like, okay, I have to balance that out. So I'm harder on the girls, and he's harder on the boys, so I have to balance that out, and I'm softer on the boys.
But it just seems like it's like that with guys with their daughters for some reason.
Right, it is. He's definitely has some daddy girls, and so I have to, crack put them in the headlock sometime, and they'll say, "I'm gonna tell my daddy." Tell your daddy.
See, that's what Crystal said. Kecia is a pistol. I love her.
Yes.
My boys better not even think about talking about I'm gonna tell my mama. They gonna get it for sure.
They like, oh, we done with this. Okay, Dad.
Mama.
What kind of shows? Oh, go ahead, Terrence.
No, I was gonna say I already know y'all some mama's boys, but don't act like it.
Yes.
My sons are the same way. They are. So, which TV shows do you binge watch?
Do you be having time for TV?
Right, we don't watch a whole lot of TV. We do I'm telling you, we don't watch a whole lot of TV, but we do like Power. Well, I binge watch Power.
Most of the time, TV is binge watching me.
Yeah.
I know.
He's more of a
And,
social media.
and
Yeah.
while we still have like a few minutes, Keela said that we're gonna circle back to why you guys look so young. And I said it's because they're eating fruits and berries.
Yes, because I mean, clearly they don't look like they could have all these adult children and grandchildren and all of that great stuff. So what's the secret?
What's the secret?
I'm gonna tell you. Well, one definitely like I said, we have good genes. My mother looks like super. She was looking super young, like all throughout high school. I mean, I remember like my niece said that while she was at the mall, my mom would take my niece and my sister to the mall, and one of the guys gonna say, "Man, who was that? Who was that?" She was like, "Oh, that's my grandma." He's like, "Oh, grandma." My mama looked good, okay? She was looking good. So I have good genes, but clean living. Like we don't smoke, drink,
I love it.
drugs. We don't do any of that. Never had. Um, and I'm trying to make sure that I, feed them healthy foods. So I'm like really into like holistics, and like I'm the one I buy the organic eggs, organic chicken. I gotta want to make sure that he's eating properly.
Sometimes she goes overboard.
Yeah, a little bit because he want fried chicken sometime, and I know my pastor was like they talked about me because he wanted some fried chicken, and and I'll get him like the skinless, boneless. We gonna and he wanted some chicken thighs. I'm like chicken thighs. I found some boneless chicken thighs, and why my pastor said, "Oh, you mean you made him a big chicken nugget?" I said,
Basically. And then she probably put it in the air fryer, didn't she?
I fried it for real. I did.
Oh, okay.
I fried it for real.
Wait. Terrence, was it good?
I don't even remember. I was just overwhelmed by what is this? What is
You were
it?
so glad to get your fried chicken.
Right. Then you know.
Did you get hot sauce on it? Please, can you
hot sauce? Hot. Sometimes I eat chicken with hot sauce. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like you come expecting a leg without a bone in it. It's like, what is this?
The skin is not good for you. Okay? Eating the skin is not good for you. Okay?
They are hilarious.
So, any parting words for us? Because we like to live in with under an hour, so we can put it out there on a different
platform.
Yeah, platforms.
No, thank you for allowing us to come and share.
Okay, well, let's rephrase that. In 2 or 3 words, what is something you would say to all couples to make it to 27 years? That is very broad, but say something like you can make this work. I mean, people that are willing to work, we know, willing to make it work.
27 happy years, not just going through the motion kind of years, but 27 happy years.
Yeah, we still in love, so I'm definitely, I would say, God, keep God first, and then make sure your spouse is, second.
Mm-hmm.
Keep,
love it.
in perspective, God, your spouse, and then your family, so.
I love it.
And try not to make kids the second.
Right. Don't make your kids the second, okay? They're going to be fine. If they're not,
they sure will.
And make sure that they honor you. Like I'm like learning this. I wish I could have done back, like we pour so much into our kids, but make sure your kids are pouring back into you as well.
That's good.
That's good. That is good.
That's good.
So, Tanya, I don't have anything to say.
Me either. I just enjoyed this conversation.
I
know. It was really good. You guys are good vibe. I feel like singing that, but I'm not going to sing.
Oh, Lord, please. Please
Maybe
don't.
I just call Kev up here and let him coach me how he coached Lana.
Please don't sing.
I'm not going to sing, but we really do appreciate your time and the wisdom and everything that you imparted upon us. I've been married for 22 years and I feel like I'm right behind you, but I've learned so much from you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Crystal is our PR. She like, Keila, send this podcast to Tyler Perry. On it, Crystal, on it. I swear, Crystal, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if we ever get a big gig, it's gonna be because of Crystal. I promise you.
I mean, she pumped us up. Thank you, Crystal.
Always in the inbox. Like y'all got it. I'm gonna send it to you and you send it for us, Crystal.
Yeah. And thank you, Keita. I got your name right.
Okay, so
And thank you for everyone else that tunes in after the show, because we have a lot of people that can watch on a Sunday. And Kendra, my sister-in-law, is here too. So we appreciate you guys. We do not take
Yeah.
for granted that you tune in on a Sunday. Or
and
even
share the podcast.
share. Yeah.
Okay, but bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good one.